All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Jasmine Norville. I'm a Solutions Design and Services champ. And with me is Scott Moore, our Senior Technical Account Manager here for HPE at Ingram Micro. So thanks for joining us today. So the purpose of this webinar is review HPE's EdgeLine server portfolio, overview edge computing, specific use cases where HPE sees EdgeLine, and how to properly position EdgeLine. So before we begin, I want to let you guys all know that I will be sending a copy of this presentation out afterwards. So in case you missed anything, don't worry about writing anything down. You will get a copy of it. Some slides are pretty wordy. That's okay. Just listen to what we're talking about and we will get you on your way. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Scott and we will get them answered for you. All right, so EdgeLine computing, right? So edge computing is the practice of processing data near the edge of your network, close to where that data is being generated. Instead of centralized data processing warehouse or data center, edge computing enables data stream accelerations, including real-time data processing with greatly reduced latency. It also allows smart application and devices to respond to data as it's being created, reducing or eliminating lag time. This is critical for applications in industries such as self-driving cars, oil and gas research, wind turbine farms, video transcoding, rich application streaming, media processing, manufacturer quality control, data processing, or any analytics. So this slide gives a good example of an edge computing application, specifically video. A 1080p HD stream of 12 hours is assumed. These numbers will increase as camera technology does, 4K for example. Typically, you would record video at an edge site, which results in roughly 400 gigs of storage per stream. Then send that storage back to a data center for analysis and transcoding. Transporting rich data like this is slow, expensive, and risky. Analyzing right to the edge with HPE EdgeLine systems can save, an example, 3.8 terabytes of storage, transfer from 100 streams and 38 terabytes for 1,000 streams. This reduces latency, network bandwidth, and costs, storage duplication, and costs migrates security, corruption, and compliance risks, and improves resilience by recording, analyzing, and storing this data right to the edge. And you have your security footprint, for example. So think of a location where you might be to and why ruggedness, temp range, etc. is of interest. The EdgeLine 8000 is a 5U high rack wide chassis for 4 1U slots for servers or storage blades. It's an extremely tall, 17-inch deep. It supports 2 1,500-watt power supplies for redundancy and 9 fans for cooling. 2 of the EL 8000 chassis can be mounted next to one another in a 5U rack space. Both 2-post and 4-post rack mounting kits are available. The E8000 chassis also supports up to 2 optional internal unmanaged 10 gig SFP plus Broadcom-based switch modules for aggregation of the NIC ports. Optional NEBS enablement kits are also available. The EL8000 can be perfect for areas where traditional data center equipment may be inappropriate, as it supports extended operating temperatures up to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Power options also include low voltage AC, high voltage AC, and negative 48V DC for telecom environments. New options include additional networking options, as well as drive cage options and wireless networking options.
Yeah, that one was.
So I'll talk about server blade options in just a bit, but I wanted to share this slide to show you the storage bay on the top left. It takes up 2 US space in the chassis and supports up to 8 small form factor drives. It can be used with E910-2U or an E920D server blades. So now let's look at actual server blades that can go into here. So the EdgeLine E910 comes with both 1U and 2U versions and may be mixed within chassis. The E910 1U blade has a half-height, half-length PCIe slot for expansion. The E910 2U blade has 2 full-heights, full-length PCIe slots and 2 half-height, half-length PCIe slots for expansions. Both server blades have a single second-gen Intel Xeon CPU and 12 DDR4 RAM slots, 2 M.2 slots, and supports up to 4 additional 2290 or 22110 form factor M.2 devices via NVMe flash, 16 video display ports, and 4 10 gig networking ports, and dual USB 3.0. So it supports a lot. The main difference between the 1U and the 2 are the number of PCIe cards supported per unit. 1 in a 1U and 2 in a 2U form. So the E920, it's a 1U similar to the E910 1U, but it utilizes the 3rd generation's Intel CPUs and the PCI 4.0, as you guys will see in these pictures above. The E920D is the 2U server similar to the 910 2U, but again, it utilizes 3rd gen Intel CPUs and PCI 4.0. So the newest addition to the EdgeLine family is the EL8000T, which is the 2U rack mount chassis supporting up to 2 E910Ts or E920T server blades. So unlike the EL8000, it is a full rack width allowing 2 servers and 2U space. So it's designed for harsh environments. The EL8000T is supported in temperatures up to 55 degrees Celsius or 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Each server, it supports a single Intel Xeon CPU, 12 DIMMs, and at least 2 M.2 sticks for storage, with an option to add more. Each blade also supports a standard PCIe expansion slot and has a single QSF Plus port that can be broken out into 4 10 gig Ethernet ports. So this chassis also supports redundant 1500 watt power supplies for either DC or low-high voltage AC. Just like in the EL8000, mixing the power supplies is allowed. The E920T server blades that get installed in the E8000T are similar to the older discontinued E910T, but supports 3rd gen Intel scalable Xeon processors, PCIe 4, and only have support for Windows 2019 and later. And additional to the RATL, the older E910T servers use Intel Gen 2 CPUs, PCIe 3, and also supported Windows 2016. So in this slide, when it comes to optimizing the use cases, we have mobile and remote workspaces, big data analytics, communications and media, and the high performance computing. So finally, I will share the slides that I pretty much borrowed from HPE, and this will give you the use cases that we have for the EdgeLine.
I'm trying.
Okay, so now that we reviewed the EdgeLine family, let's spend a minute talking about the difference between BTO and CTO and 2 ways of purchasing servers in general for HPE. So we have our BTO servers, short for built to order. They are assembled systems built according to the various system specs that we have listed in our HPE's product bulletin and quick specs. So these are generally stocked for quick turnaround times and also are shipped separately. So some assembly may be needed at the end user's location. But then you have your CTO systems, your configured orders. They are highly customizable and assembly is done in HPE's factory with all requested options pre-installed in the system before it even ships right to you. As a result, CTO orders do tend to take about 2 weeks longer than regular BTO orders to fulfill. Most ProLiant servers are available via BTO or CTO. But when it comes to CTO, you have specialized systems like your Apollo 6500, your Superdomes, your Synergies, and more. But when it comes to your EdgeLine, this is something that can only be done CTO only. We do offer some email support for a CTO and our custom configurations only. So this is also our email team. They are staffed from 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. They have an average of 4 to 6 hour turnaround and slower than our phone support. The best for detailed configurations where specs are already been determined and something you can need an immediate response on. If you want something more customizable, you're looking for your CTO team. Also, you guys are going to see a link down here for bookings. If you want to schedule time with the TAM or tech, please click on that little booking icon and it'll give you time to schedule out to answer any additional questions or get something built out. Okay, so then we have our Business Transformation Center. So John Bussard handles everything HPE related in our Business Transformation Center, or BTC, which is our proof of concept lab, demonstration and training center for Williamsville, New York. John frequently has resellers and their end users visit BTC for consultations and technology demos, and can deliver many of his HPE demos virtually, since many across the country are now dealing with travel restrictions. John also maintains a YouTube channel with HPE demos, unboxing, and installation videos. So here you have your contact center, your telephone support. Our solution design and services contact center is available by phone 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. Our average wait time is less than 2 minutes, and we could turn quotes around just in a few minutes for our BTO configurations. And there's a few hours for our CTO configurations. The phone menu options are listed here for all HPE products. And I'll just point out option 6 is for anything for advanced solutions. If you use the booking link we have is below, they will schedule time with a tech to go ahead and schedule anytime you need to, make a quote without waiting. So this brings us to the end of today's presentation. I hope that this content was useful and helps make it easier for you to position EdgeLine when supporting in any discussion you may have. I'll send a copy of this presentation out to attendees a little bit later. Thank you for everyone for attending. If you have any questions, please let us know.